And now for a special focus here on First Up. The Danish woman who was gang raped by 8 people near the New Delhi railway station last year has identified 3 of the 6 adult accused before the 30 Hazari court. She identified them as the ones who had sexually assaulted her on the 14th of January last year while recording her evidence before Additional Sessions Judge Kaveri Baweja yesterday. She pointed towards 24-year-old accused Mahendra and said that he had threatened her with a knife when another accused was raping her. The woman has arrived in the capital from Denmark on a summon by a court asking her to record her statement in this particular case. In another revelation, and that's the point that we are mentioning at this moment, the 52-year-old Danish woman had also unsuccessfully tried to mislead her would-be rapist into believing that she was infected with HIV. She pleaded with them to let her go without sexually assaulting her, lest it put them at the risk of contracting AIDS. During the 5-hour-long proceedings yesterday, when she was also cross-examined by the defense counsel, she broke down twice. A Danish police officer and a woman doctor who carried out the investigation and the medical examination back home are accompanying the survivor. They will record their statements in the court today as well. We have Sneha Agarwal, Mail Today correspondent, joining us at this moment. Sneha, can you tell us what the public prosecutor has actually told you as far as the rape survivor is concerned?
Hi Sanket. The public prosecutor told Mail Today that while recording the statement, the survivor could identify, was sure about 3 accused, but wasn't sure about the rest of the 3. After which, she also, during the 5-hour-long proceedings, we have heard that during the cross-examination, she broke down twice.
Okay, Sneha, do stay on with us. We have Anusha also joining us at this moment. Morning, Anusha. If you go by what the public prosecutor has actually told Mail Today, you know, this seems to be a case of her unsuccessfully trying to, you know, mislead her would-be rapist into believing that she was, you know, infected with HIV. Now, it just goes to show what really must be going through the mind of a you know, a rape survivor.
Absolutely correct, Sanket. I mean, we have these images of such ghastly incidents where one, you know, the perpetrator takes over the victim and the victim is almost helpless. But incidents like these, instances like these, when brought into light, tell us that victims often try to negotiate their way out of rape. And often these attempts are not successful. This also shows the presence of mind on part of that foreign lady who was here in this country as a tourist, and she could of course not succeed. And as you know, yesterday in the course of proceedings, it was pointed out that she could only identify 3 of them. There are also some juveniles which are involved in this case. But of course, if you pick up this particular incident, it tells us about the kind of mental, you know, course that the rape victims go through during that entire ordeal. And of course, there are many ways they try to negotiate out of this that situation. And unfortunately, it didn't work out for that Danish lady.
Absolutely. Now, Sneha, you know, we are quoting in your report, Atul Srivastav, the public prosecutor, is saying that during the 5-hour proceedings, including the cross-examination, she broke down twice. Now, you know, many would say, and perhaps if you could throw more light on this particular fact, that when you cross-examine a person who has survived rape, who's already mentally and emotionally broken, you know, it is but natural to actually break down because you're reliving that particular ordeal.
Yeah, which is also true because she came to India after 18 months, and recalling the whole episode would have been really traumatizing for her.
Okay. Anusha, you have in fact been tracking this entire case very closely. If you could tell us, you know, sort of a timeline as to what exactly happened in this particular case.
Well, it is, as pointed out, it was after months that this lady had visited the country, and right after the incident happened, she actually went back to Denmark, and it was in Denmark that she, you know, took all of these medical tests and all the supervision. And of course, she didn't intend and prefer to stay in the country right after the incident, after the entire experience with the system and the police. Of course, that was also one of the points, that she had mentioned about the entire process of going through with the police and the kind of medical examinations they wanted to go through. Now she had come back because she was summoned by the court and all of these accused were arrested, and that's when she had in fact recorded her statement. And as you're talking about the cross-examination is quite an extensive process. Every minor detail is hammered into by the prosecution, and everyone tries to find out loopholes and details in the testimony of the victim, especially the defense. And it can be exactly very difficult for the victims to put out these kind of details over and over again in an open court sometimes. It is also worth to point out that, the famous Uber case, in that case, the Supreme Court has already taken cognizance of the matter that the rape victim should not be asked to record her statement again and again, and the Supreme Court is in the process of framing some guidelines, according to which a victim will record her statement.
But in this particular case, Anusha, this is the first time that this woman is actually recording her statement, because she was asked by the court to actually come and record her statement. Is that the case?
That's absolutely correct. That's absolutely correct. This is the first time she's recording her statement, and we hope that the trial goes smooth. The recording of the statements will continue today also at the Tisazari court. It's an extensive process.
Okay, Anusha as well as Sneha, many thanks for joining us at this moment. This Mail Today report actually says, it starts by saying that showing immense nerve and presence of mind, the 52-year-old Danish woman unsuccessfully tried last January to mislead her would-be rapist into believing that she was infected with HIV. Just imagine what must be going through her mind when she was trying to prevent that ghastly act that was committed. This particular case now is presently in the courts. This court proceeding will continue even today.